And welcome back to the last part in this program. Now, over the past month, all the way from the slopes of the Himalayas to the tropical southern coast, Indians have headed to the polls for their lower house elections. It is, of course, the world's largest democratic exercise. Get this, 5 voting stations for 1 month, more than 800,000 polling stations, over 1,000 parties. It's hard not to be impressed by the sheer scale of it all. Now, some 700 million people, more than twice the population of the US alone, are eligible to vote, and their ballots will now determine the fate of their country and, of course, their own.
India's election marathon has finally reached the finishing line. As of Saturday, TV projections said the ruling Congress-led United Progressive Alliance had won 245 out of 541 seats in the lower house of parliament. Biggest rival Bharatiya Janata Party had 154, the Third Front 80, and 31 scattered seats. Once again, India faces the prospect of a coalition government. The era of one-party rule is over. The fate of India's oldest party, Congress, proves it. Congress ruled India for almost 40 out of 60 years following independence from Britain in 1947. It traditionally has strong support in the countryside, but with the emergence of regional and caste-based parties, it has lost that base, throwing open the battle for the rural vote.
A new fashion of politics has emerged in India politics. Every day a new front is formed. But I can say proudly and confidently that no front exists in the country other than Congress Party, which has been continuously fighting against poverty, backwardness, illiteracy, communalism and terrorism.
The opposition Bharatiya Janata Party is the main rival to Congress. It rose to prominence in the early 1990s on the back of a Hindu revivalist movement.
I promise all of you that after seeing the government, I can say through my experience that even though the 20th century belonged to America, England, or Russia, our country and our people have enough capability, and I am sure that the present 21st century will belong to India.
In the 2004 elections, the Congress Party and its allies won 216 seats out of 539. The ruling National Democratic Alliance took 186 seats, with 137 other seats going to the other parties and independent candidates. Support from the left parties gave Congress a majority in Parliament. Last year, Manmohan Singh's Congress Party lost the support of the Communists, who oppose India's civilian nuclear cooperation agreement with the United States. The party was able to survive primarily with the backing of a powerful regional party. In this election, the Left Front and the smaller parties have forged an alliance, loosely called the Third Front, that challenges the ruling Congress Party and the BJP.
In the past 60 years, the number of Indian political parties has gone from nearly 200 to more than 1,000. The political center has shifted from the national to the regional. No one party can win a majority, so the possibility of the coalition government increases. That means choices of the small parties may swing the stability of the coalition government.
A stable government apart, the post of the Prime Minister is also important. Will this man continue as Prime Minister? That's the question many Indians are asking in the month-long general election. Manmohan Singh, 76 years old, an Oxford-educated economist, was picked by Gandhi to be Prime Minister after the 2004 elections.
Manmohan Singh, of course, his strongest point is his integrity. He has, even to the end, he has consistently had a 70% approval rating in the Indian public.
Singh had 2 heart bypass operations in 1990 and 2009, and an angioplasty in 2004. His BJP rival is even older. Lal Krishnana Advani is 81. Advani was Deputy Prime Minister from 1999 to 2004 in the government headed by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He's widely credited with overseeing the rise of his party over the last 2 decades.
Health is very good. He's 80. I'm told he's not gone to hospital ever in his life. He doesn't suffer from diabetes, blood pressure, prostate, things that his younger colleagues all have. Most of them have.
But young voters see it otherwise.
Today there's a need for youth power in India. Only they can bring the change because they have an ability to put new thoughts into practice.
Nearly 40% of India's population is between 15 to 35 years old. That makes them a force to be reckoned with. The 38-year-old Rahul Gandhi, the son of Sonia Gandhi, is backed by some senior Congress leaders. His father, grandmother, and great-grandfather were all prime ministers. He's won over Indian youth as well as millions of poor villagers. But can the Prime Minister really speak for the people?
Sadly, though, there is no party that really is talking about basic issues like education, health, energy, housing, employment, or even thinking in terms of regenerating our economy, which has, fallen to rather bad times. So these issues are still, unasked.
5 years ago, India's rural poor threw out the BJP-led government because the slogan of India Shining was seen to work only for the urban middle class. The new government now will face an uphill task to lift growth in Asia's third largest economy amid a global slump and contracting domestic demand. India's central bank has forecast 6% growth in the year to March 2010, sharply below the 9% between 2007 to 2008. The impact of the slowdown has been most apparent in the export-based diamond processing industry in western Gujarat state. Nearly 60% of Gujarat's diamond industry, which counts for more than 70% of the world's processed diamonds, has closed. And the human consequences have been devastating. Patel was among thousands of workers who lost their jobs last year. Unable to find another job to provide for his family, Patel committed suicide in March.
He was unemployed for 5 months now. I can't tell you how bad the situation is at home. Even this house is running behind on rent.
In the past 5 years, the Congress government has waived farm loan repayments, increased the price at which it buys food grains from farmers, and enacted a law giving a guaranteed 100-day paid labor a year for one adult from each rural family. The rural schemes are estimated to have partly pushed up India's consolidated fiscal deficit to about 10% of GDP, the highest in years, amid a wider economic slowdown.
But these measures are not helpful to push consumption and create jobs. Although India's economy had grown fast in past years by the support of the IT industry, it can only provide jobs for less than 1% of the population. Many are still unemployed and in poverty.
It's not the dream of all Indians to be a millionaire, like the hero of this film. They can only hope and wait for the government to make good on its promises.
Here's a bit more on that story. A new government must be formed by June 2nd after the deadline for the present government's tenure ends a day earlier on June 1st. The uncertainty still remains on how a new administration will be formed and who, of course, will be the next Prime Minister. But whoever leads the government, the task is the same, and it's a daunting one: to turn things around for ordinary Indians. With that, we come to the end of this program. As always, we want to hear about what you think about this program and the stories you've seen over the past half hour. You can send in your comments and your suggestions and, of course, your feedback to worldinsight@cctv.com. I'm James Chow here in Beijing. From all of us, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you again at the same time next week for your insight on World Insight.